what does it mean to study law in India, you know, today? And what is the course structure like, and what was your experience there? If you had to break down that 4 to 5 year experience, for a person that is interested in the field, because I know a lot of young students listen to the podcast, so that would be really helpful, Shreya, if you can.
Sure. So there are two sort of pathways to do law. One is a 5 year BA LLB that you do after your plus two. The other, of course, is a 3 year LLB, which you can do at any point of time in your life. And in fact, recently, because I've had a few people reach out to me, there's definitely an uptake in the 3 year law because a lot of people are sort of picking it up to upskill themselves and or to pivot careers. And there are people who um, who've retired or are on the cusp of retiring but are picking up law so that they can do consulting, build their own business out of that. And the great thing about law, at least that was one of the things that really um, was what was the most interesting for me, is that you can be interested in space, or you could be interested in blockchain and cryptocurrency, or you could be interested in human rights, right? But law is one of those things that's going to sit in every single dimension of the world that exists. And if it doesn't apply there, then it's going to get there for sure, right? So it even the fundamentals are same, and you'll probably learn the same course as I did. But if you have interests that lie elsewhere, for say, I mean, gambling laws, or like I said, right, if you really want to see at how NFTs are working and how um, metaverse marriages are being recognized or being done, and those kinds of things also, right? So ranging from the absolute um, initial starting of world history where things started getting documented to what's going to happen, law is going to sit throughout it, and you can pick what you really want to do and what you're really, really passionate about. Coming back to the course structure, the 5 year law is like the curriculum is governed by the BCI. So they have like a set structure that you need to follow, a couple of subjects that are going to get allocated to you every semester. Some law schools have a bi-semester system. Some law schools have 3 semesters in 1 year. So
Mhm.
you like, I think NLSIU and NLIU have like 15 semesters in that sense, and most other law schools have 10.
These are like
Uh,
the other law schools in India, the ones that you mentioned.
yes, so the way that the law schools are sort of divided is that you have the national law schools, which are state run and get state funding, and um, are also older. Of course, you have other old state and government law schools like the Government Law College, which is the oldest law college in Asia, and then ILS, which is in Pune. So there is this set. Then there's this other set, which is private colleges, which are also like some of them are doing exceedingly well. For example, Jindal started fairly recently and already makes it to the QS World Ranking. But then there are other law colleges also. So you have Amity, and you have SLS, which also does very well, um, and couple of other here and there. I think there are over 1,000 law schools in India, which is like an insane number.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
that's a
there
lot,
is that.
that's a lot of lawyers coming out every year, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, a lot of them. Um, but I'll just sort of like, that's another thing that I would want to talk about perhaps a little later. I don't want to digress too much. Just coming back to the coursework, right? For the 5 year one, because that's what I studied. Um, it's a BA LLB degree, but there is like a permutation and combination on that. So some law schools offer you a BBA LLB, which is Bachelor's of Business Administration, as well as a BSc LLB, which is Bachelor's of Science with LLB. Uh, there are benefits depending on what you choose, of course. Like BBA sort of allows you to just gives you that edge, and a lot of people from a practical standpoint do a CS course alongside. So then they have like a dual professional degree when they sort of step out. Um, BSc LLB people are great people who can work in the patent side of things because they understand how patents work and they understand um, how the science behind a patent works. And in fact, a lot of companies require you to have a BSc or an engineering degree
mm,
to become a patent lawyer.
mm,
BA LLB is the most common one. Subjects on the BA side really vary, but you will most likely have a combination of political science, economics, sociology, some legal history, a lot of legal English because the way law is written is a little different, right? How judgments are written and just trying to get a hang of that. And then of course you have the law subjects through those 5 years, um, which again there is going to be some permutation and combination here and there. You have a few electives, but some that are definitely going to be taught to you is the contract law, um, all your other commercial laws, which is your company law, and then you have the other set of things, which is family law, constitutional law, and your procedural laws, which is how will a court look at things or how do you like go about a trial, and then all your criminal laws and other allied civil laws that sort of run with it. So that's broadly the structure of the 5 year course.